In the 2023 season, the Seattle Mariners had a division lead thanks to an amazing franchise record 21 wins in August, and it looked like the Mariners had a really good shot for the playoffs and even a run to the World Series. Unfortunately, the Mariners melted down in September and missed the playoffs by 1 game. Shortly after the Mariners were eliminated, Mariners catcher Cal Raleigh called out the ownership due to their unwillingness to spend money to add to this promising young core to get the Mariners to the World Series championship.
Sometimes you have to go out and you have to buy, and that's just the name of the game. And you look over in the other locker room right there, they've added more than anybody else, and you saw where it got them this year. So
he apologized the very next morning, and personally, I believe John Stanton, the Mariners owner, forced him to do so, or else he could have been traded from the team, which has happened before when Lou Piniella was traded to the Tampa Bay Devil Rays after the 2002 season, and Jeff Nelson was traded to the New York Yankees in 2003, all due to criticizing ownership and upper management. The 2023 season ended with the Texas Rangers winning the World Series, which is run by an ownership that cares about the team and will put together a winning product at any cost. Corey Seager pointed out the great Texas Rangers ownership, which may have been a shot against the Mariners since his brother Kyle Seager played for the Mariners.
Yeah, it just speaks to the resilience of this whole team, organization, front office, owners. CY's done a hell of a job of going out and getting guys that we need, and this clubhouse has done a hell of a job of competing all year.
As the offseason went underway, the Mariners instantly did not extend a qualifying offer to Teoscar Hernandez due to the high strikeout numbers of 2023 and a possibility to save the money for free agency. The free agent class consisted of Shohei Ohtani, Blake Snell, and Cody Bellinger. With the window the Mariners have with this young core, this free agency would be very opportunistic and critical for any possibility to compete for the World Series that is way long overdue for the Mariners and the fans. On November 22nd, 2023, the Mariners did the unthinkable by trading away fan favorite Eugenio Suarez to the Arizona Diamondbacks in order to not only cut down on payroll, but to cut down on the strikeouts as well, as he was second in the major leagues with 214. The move seemed bizarre at the time since Eugenio Suarez was not only one of the respected leaders of the team, but also performed well on the defensive side. Then on December 3rd, 2023, the Mariners traded away Jared Kelenic to the Atlanta Braves in order to shed salary off of Evan White and Marco Gonzalez, which was also met with heavy criticism. Despite the frustrations, maybe the Mariners were cutting payroll in order to add more quality players by trade and free agency, but as of this video, the Mariners still haven't made any serious moves to make up for the losses. On December 2nd, 2023, Shohei Ohtani signed a massive contract with the LA Dodgers after rumors of him maybe going to Toronto reported by John Morosi, and a rumor by a Japanese reporter that the Mariners offered Ohtani a 1-year $65 million contract. It was a disappointment that the Mariners didn't even make a serious attempt on Ohtani, and he would have greatly helped the struggling Mariners offense. To make matters worse, the Dodgers and Ohtani agreed to defer majority of his contract, where they would only have to pay $2 million per season until the end of the contract. Personally, this makes me wonder why the Mariners didn't even think of doing a contract like this, where it could have been possible since the Mariners ownership is so obsessed with saving money, and yet didn't even make an attempt to do that. The way the signing happened really does make the Eugenio Suarez trade and the Jared Kelenic trade look even worse, and proves that maybe John Stanton has no desire to even invest little money to compete for the World Series while watching others do that. On top of the Mariners dumping salary and seemed to be inactive in the offseason while watching the Yankees trade for Juan Soto, the Mariners made it even more frustrating for their fans as they have placed Root Sports as part of the premium package for Xfinity and Fubo TV to make it more costly to watch a team where it's run by ownership that isn't even serious of putting together a winning product, but rather operate as a typical business that just cares about its numbers rather than winning. Until we see the Mariners make any serious moves to put themselves in position to compete for a championship, the future of the Mariners look very uncertain, as we are seeing a repeat of history where the Mariners went cheap during the contending years of the late 1990s and the early 2000s that cost them a shot for a championship. But yet they magically had money for former general manager Bill Bavasi, who was allowed to spend as much money as he wanted, only to lose 100 games with a $100 million payroll in 2008, which speaks true hypocrisy of this organization. With the core the Mariners have right now, time is really running out, as Logan Gilbert, Cal Raleigh, and George Kirby will eventually be due for new contracts in a few years. And if the uncertainty continues, some may end up demanding trades in order to go to a winner or a team that will pay for a new contract. With so many years of club control the Mariners have on these guys, the time is now to spend money to get to the World Series before it's too late. Otherwise, we will end up experiencing what happened after 1995 and 2001, when the Mariners refused to add significant payroll to get necessary talent. But will the ownership actually spend the money? Probably not. And sadly, the fans that do criticize the ownership are only the minority, and the majority of Mariner fans seem to be content with the mediocrity since 1995 and 2001 is enough to dwell on to not challenge the ownership, and we may have to accept that unless John Stanton sells the team to a better owner. But those are my thoughts. Let me know in the comments what you think the Mariners will do in the offseason, and if you like this video, subscribe to the channel and thanks for watching.